This is Roger Struckoff. It's day 2 at CloudEXPO in Santa Clara, California. And we're joined right now by Richard Blech with Secure Channels, Inc. And we're going to talk about data encryption. Maybe we'll talk about insurance. It turns out that there's a lot of data in the world and it needs to be secure. And so that might explain the secure in your company's name. So anyway, welcome and tell everyone what you do and why you're here.
Great, thank you very much. Glad to be here, love being in San Jose. Yeah. We're here at the CloudEXPO showing our new wares that we've developed. We work around really protecting the confidentiality of information. And by doing so, we've developed implementations of encryption through a patented process that is known as super encipherment. So we're actually able to use existing algorithms rather than creating algorithms, so enterprises and large companies or even the public sector governments can use their own algorithms that they have inside, and our engine then creates the super encipherment, which involves segmenting and different patterns, all remaining compliant with government standards, but being much stronger. So we're really built for now and the future. We start where AES 256 leaves off and build out from there, and still remaining very efficient while doing so.
Yeah, so you're offering this great security, and they don't have to kind of start from scratch or rip and replace or start over, whatever you guys are doing. And where did you come up with this insight? How did the company get started? What was the original kind of insight that started it?
Well, it really all started with what's happened with the Snowden event years ago. Protecting information and the confidentiality of it really became a concern. And frankly, AES 256 is great, but it's been around for years. And compute power is getting stronger and stronger, and we have a lot of dangerous foreign actors out there, Russia, China, and protecting information that's valuable and sensitive is becoming much more important. So the advent of possibilities of quantum computing are coming into play now, and the thought of how to address that and still protect confidentiality of information is important. We've built a solution that works for now and is built for years and years in the future.
So yeah, the cliche is always that the bad guys are one step ahead of the good guys. I have a feeling that's not how you think.
That is not how we think, but we have to think that is always the case, because the hackers out there are quite sophisticated, well-armed, and very capable, very smart, and you have to be thinking all the time, and there's no silver bullet. It's all about best practices, it's all about the implementation, it's all about how you go about it. So we have to think like that around the full scope of what a secure environment should be like.
Right, and you mentioned performance. You got to do this without slowing things down to a crawl, I guess.
That is correct. I mean, this is the reason why you see some of the breaches out there. It's always the stealing of unencrypted data. Why? Because many of these enterprises don't want to bother with encryption because it slows their processes down, and they're taking the risk, and then they get they get the hit. They get breached, and look what happens. So we are trying to make this where you can use encryption and implement it flawlessly and protect the confidentiality of your information.
Not the greatest analogy, but it takes me longer to get into my house, in my garage, if the garage door is closed too, but I do it. So, the performance trade-offs. So in a serious way, in what you're doing, what sort of performance trade-offs or lack of performance trade-offs, do you promise or deliver to your customers? How do you address that issue? Make them think, okay, everything's going to be fine. It's not going to affect performance in such a bad way.
Sure. We provide mathematical proofing that demonstrates what and how our technology can work and to be deployed. It depends on what kind of systems you have and what you're using, of course, but everything that's in the modern environment now, we work with. We're very agnostic to data and agnostic to the resources used to apply that. So we can show that. The analysis to use, I guess the best is that it's a slight overhead because you're encrypting something, you're adding more to it, and there is going to be, in any encryption environment, some slowdown, so to speak, but it's not to the point where it makes it unusable. So it is very, and you have to balance the risk, or do you want to get breached and have that part to recover from, which is not something anybody really wants to look at doing nowadays.
Right, but they're always thinking it won't happen to me. So this is some really hairy stuff, and I'm going to guess that at your website somewhere, you're approaching new customers. Their crypto people and their top security people are going to really want to drill down. And Mike, how are they going to find that information? What do you have available at your website, for example? Or do you like to come and visit people?
We like to do both. We come to events like this, but our website is loaded with information. We have a solutions page. It's securechannels.com. Anyone can see us there. And we have a resource section where we have white papers and all the studies that are done. We have the mathematical proofs of our process that are all up there. So for the technical person, it's very well stocked with information.
That's what I figured. So you heard it here. Just go and find it and check it out. Thanks a lot for joining us. Hey, thanks for watching. For Syscon TV, this is Roger Struckoff.